I've been in every situation with every sort of network, with every sort of network executive, with every sort of cliche that you've ever heard, and how they're all true.
Yeah.
I've heard them all.
Right.
This was the best version I've ever had of that.
Wow.
Where the network was like, hey, this is weird and we know it, and it's where you're on a limb, but Steph likes it, and so
That's
here are our
huge.
notes, and their notes made it better because usually we go too hard. I think we go too hard sometimes, and we don't want to. I mean, this guy's, presidential almost.
So huge.
So you don't want to
So
ruin
huge.
that with your reference.
No, right, exactly. Does
you really
does he ever give you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll give us notes. He'll be like, and he'll give notes because it's improvised a lot. So sometimes we'll be on stage and going, and then the dailies will come in, and he'll be like, "I think we went too hard there."
Right.
And he'll be like,
right.
Got it. Copy.
Is that his sensibility? Does he have a?
No, his sensibility is like he has like a comic sensibility. Riff with him and kind of roast and then also at the same time he can do bits and he's got all that. He's just very wholesome and has a very strong sense of himself and his brand and what he wants to accomplish in the future. So it's like he's like, no, let's just cut that off.
Right. So he knows.
Yeah.
Man, I remember I was at I don't know if it was a Laker game or a Knick game, but he wasn't playing. He was in street clothes just on the edge of but the charisma of that guy. I mean, it's not just on what he's accomplished on the court. Like this guy had just the way he would stand, the way he would just joke with people. It's small, subtle, but it's pure charisma.
Yes, one of his very close adult friends is Obama, and they talk a lot. And I don't know, there's been articles written about his presidential aspirations. I don't know if any of that is really true, but I do know that it feels like you're with someone of that, like a presidential force, the way he moves through the world, the way the day is scheduled, the way that the people that he comes in contact with are only uplifting to him. It's like he then uplifts others down. There's no bullshit in his life.
God, it's so crazy.
And
you think he was always that way?
No.
You think he cultivated it and built it?
I think his dad was an NBA player and one of the best. Del Curry, I think, is underrated as an NBA player. When I was a kid, Del Curry was known as the best shooter. I mean, when you played NBA Jam, you wanted the Hornets so you could have Del Curry.
Right.
He was the best shooter.
Right.
And he lived a very wholesome life, and I think Steph grew up exceptional.
Right. Yeah.
And we make a joke about it in the show, Steph's like, anybody can do it. And I'm like, well, I mean, anybody whose dad is an NBA player and has the probably 1 millionth percentile of hand-eye coordination. Anyone like that can do it, sure.
Yeah.
But there is that. He is exceptional.
Yeah.
And he doesn't mess around with. He doesn't ever. Nothing. Yeah,
it's a fascinating thing to think about because there's so many elements that could derail that.
Yeah.
Life.
He's got kids. He's got 4 children.
Yeah, and even before that,
Sure.
you become good friends with a not great guy, or you get in a long-term relationship with someone very unhealthy.
Yes.
Or I mean, there's so many things. It's almost like there's I don't know if there is, but it definitely conjures up the thoughts of some people have this destiny vibe to it.
Yes.
Obama is a perfect example of it.
Yeah.
These people and you look back at their life, it's things kind of.
I think it's destiny, but I also think it's a frequent. It's there is a certain frequency when you're around people. I think people are quick to cut it down. There's stories about a young Brando walks in the room and lights it up, and people are like, oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
However,
yeah,
I think at the time, a young Marlon Brando walks in a room and he's like, "What the fuck are we doing?" You know, it's like people are like, "Oh,
yeah,
whoa,"
not even talking.
Yeah, just kind of like, and you're like, "Whoa." So I think there are people like that,
100%,
like just operate at that frequency that makes things move. Like when he's around. It's like you know that movie Phenomenon?
Yeah,
It's like things move, people elevate, things
energy.
Everybody's on their P's and Q's, everybody's moving, the lines are crisper. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah.
And it's one of the things that I was like, oh, I'm taking that with me. Like, I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah.
But any set I now walk on, like, I'm operating up here.
Right.